I am speaking to you right now to say the 3 words you have been begging to hear. I love you. I am telling you this today because your heart is breaking under a weight I never asked you to carry. You are the one who answers for everyone. You are the keeper of a house that never thanks you. You hold the schedule, the worries, and the emotional weather of the entire family. And you do it all with a quiet smile, pretending that it does not cost you everything. Do not scroll away from my voice. If you walk away now, you will wake up tomorrow morning with the exact same heaviness sitting on your chest. You will keep bleeding out for people who do not even say thank you. You will spend another year feeling completely invisible inside your own home. I see the heavy toll it takes on your physical body. I know how your jaw clenches when the phone rings. I know how you sit in your car for 5 extra minutes before walking through the front door. I was standing in the room the night you picked up your phone. You typed a long message asking for help, and then you deleted every single word. You typed 2 words instead. You said, "You were fine." You turned off the screen and you cried alone in the dark. My beloved child, you did that because you were terrified of being a burden. You have convinced yourself that your pain is a massive inconvenience to the world. It is not. I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone else walked into the room. I am reaching into your life right now to stop this endless cycle. I have watched this exact pattern destroy too many beautiful souls. I refuse to let it destroy yours. Nothing about this moment is a random accident. Stay with me to the very end of this message. If you stay, you will finally understand why the people you loved the most walked away. You will feel the physical tightness in your shoulders loosen for the first time in years. And you will learn exactly how to refuse the responsibilities that I never assigned to you. Type Amen if you are ready to put the tiredness down. Let this be the very first step you take toward your freedom today. Do not skip this action. I read what my children write. Let us look at the silent prayers you have been whispering into the dark. You have been asking me why the silence was so incredibly loud. You asked me why your desperate prayers for help were met with nothing but quiet. You thought I was ignoring you. You wondered if you had done something to make me turn my face away. But silence is not the same thing as a refusal. Between your asking and the answer arriving, a massive and quiet work is being done. I was not working on the problem you wanted me to fix. I was working on you. I was making you strong enough to carry the blessing that is coming. Do not mistake my preparation for abandonment. I have never abandoned you. Now I want to talk about what you do when the anxiety gets too loud. Notice your own hands on the days when you feel the most unloved. You do not sit still. You clean. You organize the kitchen until it is spotless. You arrange the room as if a perfect house will somehow fix a broken heart. You fold the laundry and scrub the floors while your mind races through 100 different worries. Nobody else notices this subtle pattern. They just think you are careful and neat. They praise you for keeping everything together. But I know the truth about what is actually driving your exhausted hands. You have told yourself that you just like things tidy. You think it is your personality. You believe it is just a normal habit of a responsible person, but it is not. Here is the hidden truth about your behavior. Perfectionism is just a hiding place. You are trying to control the environment around you because you cannot control the people who keep hurting you. When you feel completely helpless, making a room look perfect is the only thing that gives you a fragile sense of power. I am naming this so you can finally see it clearly. This is the polished hiding place. You have spent decades managing the moods of other people. If someone is angry, you rush to smooth it over. If someone is disappointed, you quickly find a way to make it up to them. You treat their emotions like emergencies that you are personally responsible for solving. But my child, you were never meant to be the savior of your own family. You were never meant to carry the emotional weight of adults who refuse to carry their own. The polished hiding place gave you the illusion of safety, but it only kept you trapped. Look back at all those years you spent exhausting yourself for everyone else. You were not just being a good host. You were trying to earn your place in the room. You thought that if you were useful enough, they would finally love you. You believed that love was a wage you had to earn through endless service. Every time you anticipated their needs, you were secretly hoping someone would finally notice yours. But usefulness is not love. You do not have to earn your right to breathe. So tonight, I want you to do one small thing. Leave one cup unwashed on the counter. Just leave it there and go to sleep. Brum, brum. Let the world be imperfect for one single night, and see that you are still completely loved. Nothing will collapse because you rested. The sky will not fall because you chose to stop working. The people who truly belong in your life will stay, even when the kitchen is messy. I know the quiet thought moving through your mind right now. You are listening to my voice and feeling a sudden wave of doubt. You are thinking that someone simply wrote these words to get your attention. You assume this is just another video on the internet designed to make you feel good for 5 minutes. I am not offended by that hesitation at all. I made the part of you that asks those hard questions. The caution in your heart is not a flaw. It is a heavy armor you earned through very real tears. You have been promised beautiful things before by people who walked away. You trusted them completely, and they left you holding the broken pieces of a life you built together. So of course you are incredibly careful. Careful is exactly how you survived the last 3 years. I will not demand your blind trust tonight. I only ask you to pay close attention to the undeniable truth of what I am naming. Let us look at the deep ache you hide from your closest friends. There is a specific kind of loneliness that only strikes when you are surrounded by people. You give your entire heart to the people you love. You remember their birthdays, and you know exactly how they take their coffee. You anticipate their needs before they even have to ask you. And then a day comes when you desperately need someone to hold you. You look around the room and realize that no one is looking back at you. The people you poured your life into are completely blind to your exhaustion. You stood in the hallway last week feeling like a ghost in your own family, and instead of getting angry at them, you turned the blade inward. You blamed yourself for feeling so empty. You told yourself that you simply expected too much from ordinary people. You whispered into the dark that it was your own fault for being too sensitive. You decided that asking to be loved in return was a selfish demand. My beloved child, that is a devastating lie. Expecting a return on your deep love is not a greedy expectation. It is the basic requirement of a human heart. You were never asking for too much. You were simply asking the wrong people. You keep returning to empty wells and getting angry at yourself for being thirsty. The thirst is not the fundamental problem here. The well is completely dry. You have spent so much time shrinking yourself to fit into their tiny capacity. When someone forgets to show up for you, you quickly make an excuse for them. You say they are just busy or dealing with their own stress, because facing the actual truth feels entirely too dangerous. You protect their image while letting your own heart break. The truth is that they are comfortable with you doing all the heavy lifting. They love what you do for them, but they do not cherish who you actually are. That realization is a bitter pill to swallow. So you swallow your disappointment instead, and keep playing the role of the strong one. You smile brightly and tell everyone that you are perfectly fine handling it alone. I am watching this unfair arrangement slowly drain the life out of your beautiful spirit. You are fading away right in front of them and they do not even notice. But I notice every single detail of your quiet suffering. I saw the moment your heart sank when that important message went completely unanswered. I saw you swallow the tears and force yourself to go back to work. You are so profoundly tired of being the only one who truly cares. You are exhausted from carrying relationships that would instantly collapse if you let go. Do not run away from this uncomfortable truth tonight. We are going to walk straight through it together. You have been waiting for someone to finally see the massive burden you are carrying. I am here to tell you that your waiting is not entirely in vain. I see the quiet sacrifices you make every single day. I see the way you bite your tongue to keep the peace in your house. You have convinced yourself that suffering in silence is a noble and holy thing. It is not holy to let yourself be consumed by people who refuse to grow. There is a massive difference between loving someone and letting them destroy your peace. You have blurred that line for so long that you forgot what peace even feels like. You think that setting a boundary makes you a bad and unforgiving person. That is the exact lie the enemy uses to keep you trapped in this miserable cycle. We are going to shatter that specific lie before this message is over. You do not have to earn your place in my heart by bleeding out for others. You do not have to prove your worth by being endlessly useful to a thankless room. I want you to stop and take a very deep breath right now. Feel the air fill your lungs. Let us look closely at the heavy pattern you have been repeating for years. You walk into a room and immediately scan the faces of everyone there. You are looking for any tiny sign of displeasure or anger. If someone is upset, you instantly assume you did something wrong, and you bend over backward to fix a problem you never even created. You apologize for things that are completely out of your control. You carry the emotional atmosphere of the entire house on your back. I saw you standing in your kitchen late last night. Everyone else was fast asleep in their beds. You were incredibly exhausted, but you stayed awake to finish their chores. You scrubbed the counters and prepared everything for the next morning because you thought that if they woke up to a perfect house, they would finally appreciate you. You are trying to buy their approval with your physical exhaustion. You believe your sacrifice will force them to love you. You have a very noble name for this exhausting behavior. You call it being a good person. You tell yourself that this is what true love looks like. You think that putting yourself last is a holy and beautiful sacrifice. But I am here to tell you the painful truth about that sacrifice. It is not love driving you to do all of these things. It is profound fear hiding behind a polite smile. You are deeply afraid that if you stop being useful, they will stop loving you. You believe that your natural self is simply not enough to make them stay. So you work overtime to prove your worth every single day. And you treat every relationship like a fragile glass that will shatter if you make one mistake. My child, that is a terrible way to live your life. It is not living at all. It is just performing. I am going to show you exactly where this devastating lie started. Long ago, you learned that love was a harsh transaction. Someone in your past only gave you affection when you behaved perfectly or achieved something great. You absorbed a silent law that you had to work for your place at the table. I am going to name this toxic cycle right now. This is the earned affection. I want you to remember this name. The earned affection tells you that you are a worker, not a child. It tells you that your value is entirely based on what you can produce for others. It turns your beautiful heart into a desperate machine that constantly begs for validation. But true love is never a wage that you have to earn. Love is a free gift. I never asked you to buy my love with your sweat and your tears. Now look back at the past 10 years of your life. Think about the people you broke your own back trying to please. You thought you were failing because they still walked away or treated you poorly despite your massive efforts. You were not failing. You were simply trying to pay a debt that did not actually exist. You poured oceans of love into cups that had massive holes in the bottom. They did not leave because you were inadequate. They left because people who demand earned affection will never truly be satisfied. You spent your youth apologizing for breathing the air in their room, but none of that was your fault. You were just a wounded heart trying to survive in a house that did not understand grace. I saw every single effort you made. Not one was wasted. I kept every tear. The intense pain you feel right now is the pain of waking up. The illusion is finally breaking apart. You are beginning to see that no amount of scrubbing floors or swallowing your own needs will ever secure their absolute loyalty. And while that realization hurts immensely, it is also the key to your prison door. The heavy chains you have been dragging around were completely unlocked the entire time. You only needed to drop them. So today, we are going to break the earned affection forever. You do not need to confront anyone or start a massive argument. You are simply going to stop paying the imaginary debt. The next time someone is in a bad mood, you will not rush to fix it. You will let them sit in their own emotions without absorbing their negative energy into your own spirit. You will stay quiet and let them handle themselves. If they are angry, let them be angry. It is absolutely not your job to manage their emotional state. Stop saying sorry when you have done absolutely nothing wrong. Catch the apology before it leaves your mouth and swallow it back down. Notice how incredibly uncomfortable it feels to just sit there in the silence. That intense discomfort is the actual feeling of your chains falling off. Freedom feels strange at first. You are stepping into a brand new identity today. I am moving you out of the servant quarters and placing you at the main table. You will no longer measure your worth by how much you suffer for others, and you will no longer accept tiny crumbs of affection as a reward for your total exhaustion. You will sit at my table and be served. You are deeply loved right now, exactly as you are. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to clean the house before I come inside. You are entirely acceptable in your messy and unfinished state. Take a deep breath and let the crushing weight of their expectations slide off your shoulders. I am putting a new crown on your head today. Wear it proudly. The era of begging for love is officially over. Remember the toxic cycle I just named for you. I want to show you the beautiful life standing on the other side of it. Come with me to a normal morning 6 months from now, because your spirit needs to see what freedom actually looks like. It is a quiet Tuesday. Nothing special has been announced. You wake up early, and your feet find the cold floor without a single argument. You stand at the kitchen counter with a warm cup in your hands, and you do not brace yourself for disaster. The familiar tightening behind your ribs is completely gone. You do not mentally run through a massive list of chores before the sun even rises. The phone lies face down on the table, and you do not feel it pulling at your anxious mind. You are finally standing inside a quiet room. Nothing is running or hiding inside your chest. It feels incredibly strange at first, but the peace is absolutely real. That morning is not a silly dream. That version of you already exists. She is standing right on the other side of the heavy burden you are still holding. The distance between you and that beautiful morning is not measured by time. It is measured by permission. And permission is a powerful word you must say out loud in an empty room. Say it tonight, and that beautiful morning will start walking toward you. Now we must talk about the silent room you are currently standing in. There is a specific prayer you have stopped praying, and you have not told a single soul about it. You still say the polite words at night, but you took all your desperate weight off them somewhere along the way. Your prayers go up like a tired person greeting a neighbor. You expect absolutely nothing from them. You think I am ignoring you. You have drawn a heartbreaking conclusion from my silence. You concluded that I simply said no. On your hardest nights, you concluded something much worse than a simple rejection. You told yourself that your words went up into a completely empty ceiling. My beloved child, you are entirely wrong about the ceiling. I have heard every single word you whispered, because silence is never my word for rejection. I will not tell you that your room was not incredibly quiet. It was. But anyone who tells you that your prayer technique was flawed is telling a terrible lie. You did not lack faith. You did not ask at the wrong hour. Here is the hidden truth you have not been told. Silence and refusal are two entirely different things, but the human heart struggles to tell them apart. It assumes the absolute worst. Listen to what actually happens during a long waiting season. Between the asking and the arriving, a massive work is being done. And the work is not on the water, my child. The intensive work is on the vessel. A giant gift that arrives before your hands are ready is not a mercy at all. It is a devastating loss, wrapped in a beautiful package. I am making you strong enough to carry the answer, because a premature blessing will crush a fragile foundation. I have watched huge blessings break the very people who begged for them. So, some of the things you asked for are still being carefully prepared. Some of those gifts are being made infinitely better than the small things you originally requested. I am going to name this waiting season right now so you can stop fearing it. This is the unfinished yes. It is not a denial, it is a loving preparation. Look back over the painful years you have called completely abandoned. You were not being ignored in that dark room. You were being deeply formed. Ask yourself honestly what you can handle now that you could not handle back then. None of that resilient strength came from your easy days. All of it came from the crushing silence you thought was my cruel rejection. The waiting was never empty of me, while you were quietly growing into someone who could hold the weight of a miracle. You simply could not see me working. I was working on the one thing you never even thought to look at. I was working on you. I was expanding your heart so it would not shatter when the massive blessing finally dropped into it. Your character was being forged in the quiet fire, and a soul that survives the quiet fire can hold absolutely anything the world throws at it. So I will not ask you to force yourself back into that desperate prayer tonight. I am asking you to change one tiny word. When you look up at the ceiling, stop asking why I have not moved. Instead, ask me what I am building inside of you. Say it once out loud before you go to sleep tonight. Ask me what I am doing, and then rest your tired mind. You do not have to figure everything out by morning. Take a blank piece of paper tomorrow. Write down one single way you have grown stronger since the terrible waiting began. Only write one. That piece of paper is your undeniable evidence. On the nights when the silence gets impossibly loud again, you will not have to take my word for it. You will hold your own handwriting. You will see the beautiful vessel I have been molding this entire time. Do not rush past this gentle realization. Let it settle deep into your bones. The silence was always a holy workshop, and you are the glorious masterpiece being shaped inside of it. You can breathe easily tonight. The unfinished yes is still actively working on your behalf. The glorious answer is already on its way to a vessel that is finally ready to hold it. You walk into a familiar room, and your body instantly tenses. You start managing the emotional temperature before you even take off your coat. You watch their faces carefully to see who is upset. You are constantly anticipating a bitter argument so you can quickly jump in and smooth it over before it explodes. You apologize before you even finish your sentence. You say you are sorry for things you did not even do. You act as a human shield between the angry people in your life. When the room gets tense, you quickly make a joke to protect them because you are terrified of the impending explosion. You do this so automatically that you do not even notice it anymore, and you feel exhausted after spending just 1 hour with them. You have a polite explanation for this exhausting behavior. You tell yourself that you are just a naturally peaceful person. You think it is your innate personality to be the mediator. You deeply believe that keeping the peace is simply the core of who you are, but you are hiding behind a beautiful illusion. I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. That is not your personality. Your extreme politeness is not a biological trait. Your constant need to fix their emotional messes is not a holy calling, and you have mistaken a desperate survival strategy for a natural personality. You have confused a heavy defense mechanism with your actual soul. You only act like the eternal peacemaker because the alternative always felt incredibly dangerous to you. I am going to show you exactly where this started. When you were very young, you realized that your house was completely unstable. The adults around you could not manage their own heavy emotions, so you bravely stepped up to balance the rocking boat while you were still just a child. You quickly became the quiet and invisible one. You transformed into the perfectly good kid. You learned to read their volatile moods to stay safe. You took on a massive job that belonged entirely to the adults. They handed you a heavy coat and convinced you it was your own skin. I am naming this invisible dynamic today so you can finally step out of it. This is the inherited role. It is an old script written by broken people. You have been reciting their lines for your entire life. Now look back at your childhood with my eyes. You were not just being a mature kid. You were a terrified child trying to prevent a war. You sacrificed your own vibrant voice to keep the living room quiet. Every time you swallowed your own basic needs, you were desperately trying to hold a fragile family together before it shattered. You paid for their peace with your own childhood. You honestly thought you were fixing their broken lives, but you were actually just absorbing their chaotic damage directly into your own tiny body. You absorbed the shockwaves of their terrible choices. You carried the heavy secrets they absolutely refused to talk about, and you are still carrying them today. You still shrink yourself down the moment you step inside their house. I saw every time you swallowed your anger to keep them comfortable. I was standing right there when you pretended you did not need anything, and I tell you now that it was never a noble sacrifice, but a heartbreaking tragedy. I never asked you to be the emotional shock absorber for your entire family. I never created you to be a convenient sponge for their unresolved pain. The inherited role is heavy, but it has zero actual authority over you today. A coat that was put on you can easily be taken off. You are a fully grown adult now. You do not have to play the terrified mediator anymore. The chaotic adults from your painful past cannot force you to balance their rocking boat today, and you can simply choose to step out of the boat completely. I want you to take one specific action tonight. It will feel completely unnatural at first. Someone is going to ask you for something unreasonable. When someone inevitably starts a dramatic argument near you, I want you to resist the urge to jump in and fix their problems. Let the awkward silence hang heavily in the air. Let them handle the messy consequences of their own bad moods. If you must decline a request, you will say no. You will state your boundary clearly, and you will not explain yourself, because saying no without an apology is the exact moment the generational curse shatters into pieces. You break the bitter cycle by refusing to play your assigned part. You are no longer the unpaid manager of their emotional lives. The moment you stop managing their emotions, they might get very angry, but their bitter disappointment is absolutely not your problem to solve anymore. Let them be angry. You are finally resigning from a miserable job you never applied for. You are handing the inherited role back to the exact people who invented it. Take a deep breath and feel the lightness of your own skin. You are completely safe now. I am standing right beside you while you take this heavy coat off. The fragile peace of your home does not depend on your endless performance anymore, so you can finally just be the person I created you to be. The real you is far more beautiful than the exhausted mediator they forced you to become. Rest your tired shoulders today. You have laid down the heavy coat. You have stopped apologizing for simply breathing the air in your own home. You are no longer the unpaid manager of their messy emotions. Now look closely at the empty space around you. You see missing people. You see securely closed doors. You look at the past 5 years and you call them a massive failure. You think you completely ruined your life. You tell yourself a lie. You say you pushed everyone away because you were too difficult to love. I am telling you to look again. Those empty spaces are absolutely not a brutal punishment. The people who walked away did not leave because you were fundamentally unlovable or broken. They left because a towering house cannot be finished while people are still living inside the dusty scaffolding. I let them walk away. I closed those specific doors with my own hands. It was never a rejection of your giving heart. It was a massive and necessary clearing. It was the only way to protect your fragile spirit from being entirely consumed by takers. You cannot build a beautiful monument on a floor covered in trash. You cannot invite true peace into a house filled with toxic demands and constant shouting. I had to completely empty the room before I could bless it. Every time you thought you were losing something precious, you were actually gaining critical space. The terrible loss was just a brutal preparation. Do not mourn the fallen scaffolding today. Do not cry over the heavy chains that finally broke. You are standing in the clear wreckage of your old prison. I know the desperate thought rising in your chest right now. We need to look at it closely. You are thinking that this beautiful promise is meant for someone much better. You assume this is for someone whose hands are perfectly clean. You believe your past mistakes have permanently disqualified you from my grace. You think about the days you walked away and the promises you broke. That is exactly what the enemy desperately wants you to believe. But you have entirely misread who this message is for. You believe my absolute love belongs only to the ready. It has always belonged to the ones who are willing to see they are not ready. Your brutal honesty is not a wall between us. It is the only door there has ever been. I do not come looking for a finished and perfect product. I come looking for you. I am looking for the messy and completely exhausted you. I am looking for the one who has absolutely nothing left to prove. The ones who arrive certain of their own massive worth bring me nothing I can use. You brought me the broken truth about yourself. Do you understand how rare that actually is? Do you understand how much courage is sitting in your chair right now? I have never once been confused about which child I was calling. I called you by your true name. Your deeply broken heart is the exact vessel I have been seeking. You do not need to clean yourself up before you run to me. You are standing on the very edge of a massive turnaround. The long dry season is actively crumbling beneath your tired feet. All the painful clearing and all the lonely nights were leading directly to this specific hour. You are not empty because you failed the test. You are empty because a completely full vessel cannot receive a single drop of new water. Your emptiness is your greatest qualification today. The crushing silence was just the sound of a completely blank canvas being prepared for a masterpiece. Every minute you have stayed here is adding to what I am rebuilding in you. Not one of these quiet minutes is wasted. That is exactly why leaving costs far more than you think. Your willingness to still be here is letting me reach incredibly deep. I am reaching the dark places you guarded closely for 30 years. Let me finish the glorious work I started. The deep healing is happening inside your physical body right now as you listen to my voice. Now hear me as we approach the most important moment. Everything up to this sentence was just preparation for your heart. What comes next is not just comforting information. It is a holy declaration over your entire life. But there is one thing I have not given you yet. I have been holding it back on purpose until you were truly ready. I will call it the last word I kept. It is the ultimate key to your lifelong freedom. You will not receive this final word in the next few minutes. You will receive it at the very end of this entire message. Do not leave when my voice gets quiet and sounds like it is closing. The most important sentence of this entire hour will be spoken immediately after the quiet part. Stay exactly where you are. The last word I kept belongs exclusively to you. Do not let the familiar noise of the world steal this specific ending from you. You have walked further into this blazing fire than most people ever walk. You survived the brutal clearing of your own life. Now you must survive the sudden arrival of the blessing. It is much harder to receive free love than to desperately earn it. But you are finally ready to stop earning everything. Open your tired hands right now. I am about to pour the ocean into them. Let us look at the darkest hour of your recent past. The door was closed. The house was asleep. You asked for a miracle with absolutely everything you had left in your exhausted spirit. You wept until your throat burned and your voice completely broke, but the room stayed completely quiet and nothing happened. You looked at the empty walls. You felt a cold dread settle deeply into your tired bones. You told yourself a devastating lie. You decided that my silence meant I had finally abandoned you. You assumed you were simply not good enough to be answered. Listen to me right now. I have never abandoned you for a single second. I did not turn my face away because you were broken. Silence and refusal are two completely different things, and you must learn to tell them apart. When you ask for a massive blessing, my silence simply means I am expanding your capacity to hold it. A miracle dropped into unprepared hands will crush them entirely. I was working fiercely in the unseen realm to protect your fragile spirit. I am naming this holy pause so you can finally stop fearing it. This is the unfinished yes. It is my absolute protection over your life. You thought my quietness was a harsh punishment. You assumed I was treating you the exact way your family treats you when they are angry. Humans use silence as a bitter weapon to make you feel tiny. They withdraw their affection to force you into compliance, and they leave you begging for scraps of attention. But I am not a fragile human playing manipulative games with your heart. My silence is the sound of a glorious foundation being poured. I am actively building a floor that will not collapse when the heavy weight of the answer finally arrives. Do not mistake my careful construction for a cruel rejection. Now, we must demolish the core lie you have lived with forever. You believe you must earn my love through your exhausting performance. You think that if you stop helping people, your worth instantly drops to zero. You believe that love is a wage paid to the most useful servant in the house. Hear my voice clearly where you make your deepest decisions. You are completely wrong. My love is not a transaction. I do not love you because you are helpful or because you keep the peace. I love you because you are mine, and that is the absolute beginning and the absolute end of the entire story. You do not have to earn your breath. You do not have to buy my affection with your endless exhaustion. I am ending the brutal argument in your head today. I am not softening it. I am completely ending it. You are not a servant auditioning for a place at my table. You are a fiercely loved child who already owns the house. Nothing you do will ever make me love you more. Nothing you fail to do will ever make me love you less. Your massive value was permanently set before you took your very first breath. Stop trying to pay for something that was given freely. I already paid the ultimate price so you could just rest in my arms. I watched you try to fix everyone around you. I saw you carry the agonizing weight of their broken choices. You did all of that hoping someone would finally turn around and choose you. I am choosing you right now. I chose you in the terrible mess. I chose you when you had absolutely nothing to offer. You are entirely enough, exactly as you are sitting there today. You do not need to clean yourself up, and you do not need to fix another problem for anyone else. Just be still and let yourself be entirely loved. The desperate need to be perfect is leaving your body. The intense fear of being rejected is melting away. You are finally learning how to breathe without apologizing. You have lived as a desperate orphan for decades. You have scavenged for tiny crumbs of approval from people who are completely blind. Today I am handing you the keys to the entire kingdom. You must make a radical decision before you go to sleep tonight. You must stop acting like a beggar in your own spectacular home. Do not ask me to make you worthy. I already made you worthy. I am asking you to actually believe it. I am asking you to let the heavy armor fall to the floor. Let the brutal performance die today. You have carried it for far too long. The era of earning your keep is permanently finished. The exhausting hustle is officially over. You are stepping into a blinding light where your performance means absolutely nothing. This is the staggering reality of my grace. It requires nothing but your empty hands. Let them be empty. You are safe. You are held. You are cherished beyond human comprehension, and you will never be abandoned again. Stop striving. Put the heavy tools down. The fight is over. Lift your head right now. Say it with me. I am perfectly loved. Hear this before you go. You are going to wake up tomorrow morning. The sun will rise, and the familiar noise of your house will begin. And the very first thing that happens will be an old habit, loudly calling your name. Someone will be upset about a minor inconvenience. The urge to immediately rush in and fix their problem will hit your chest like a heavy wave. You will feel a desperate need to apologize for something you did not even do. That is the exact moment you must make a fierce choice. Do not pick up the heavy bags I just took off your shoulders. I did not free you from that dark room so you could voluntarily walk right back into the same miserable prison cell. You must leave the heavy coat on the floor. There is a devastating cost to living another year under the old toxic arrangement. It is not a cost anyone will send you a bill for. It is paid quietly in the things you slowly stop expecting. It is paid in your vanishing joy. If you choose to put the heavy coat back on tomorrow, you will spend another decade feeling utterly exhausted and completely invisible. You will slowly fade into the background of your own life. You will spend all your vibrant energy keeping fragile people comfortable. And worst of all, you will quietly teach the young children watching you that love must be fiercely earned. You will pass down the exact same generational curse that broke your own beautiful heart. That is the true cost of going back. I am not warning you about a terrible enemy tonight. I am warning you about a comfortable habit. The noise of the world is going to try to drag you back into the endless performance. It will tell you that setting healthy boundaries is incredibly selfish. It will whisper in your ear that you are cruelly abandoning your family when they need you. That is a vicious and calculated lie. Refusing to carry their emotional weight is the only way you actually survive. You cannot save a drowning person if you let them pull you under the water with them. Let them learn how to swim. You stay on the dry land I just pulled you onto. Stand your ground and refuse to be their emotional sponge. The teaching is officially finished, my child. What is left is only between the two of us. Let the heavy words rest now. I want to speak to you the exact way a loving father speaks at the end of a very long day. I am going to lower my voice for this final part. This is not an instruction or a harsh lesson. It is a holy blessing over your tired spirit. I promised you one final thing before we finish tonight. I called it the last word I kept. I held it back on purpose until the room was completely quiet and your heart was truly ready to receive it. You could not have held this staggering truth an hour ago. You are finally ready for it now. I am placing it directly into your open hands. The last word I kept is simply this. You are unconditionally mine. You do not belong to the anxious expectations of other angry people. You do not belong to your past mistakes or your lingering regrets. You belong exclusively to me. And because you belong to me, you never have to audition for a place at any table ever again. The performance is permanently cancelled. Because you stayed in the dark room without demanding immediate proof, I am radically changing your entire future. I am walking you completely out of the prison of endless people-pleasing. You will no longer frantically read the faces of angry people to know if you are safe. You will no longer translate your vibrant personality into something smaller just to be accepted. You will step into crowded rooms, knowing you already belong there. You will speak your true mind and let the fragile people adjust to your beautiful boundaries. You will say no without offering a desperate apology. And this spectacular freedom will absolutely not end with you. The incredible healing will flow directly down your family line. The young ones who come after you will learn how to truly rest. They will learn it because they watched you bravely refuse to carry the borrowed load. The bitter cycle of earned affection formally ends in your house tonight. You are the faithful one who finally broke the heavy chain. My steady one, my beautiful child, go in absolute peace. I am asking you to do one last thing before you sleep. There is someone in your life who still believes they have to desperately earn their worth. They are totally exhausted, just like you used to be. Send this exact message to them right now. Tell them they are already perfectly loved without having to lift a single finger. Share the magnificent freedom with them. Then I want you to leave your own permanent mark below so I know you stayed to the very end. type exactly this: I am loved without condition. Leave those words as a monument to your new life. I read what my children write.